How many times have you given up something important for somebody else, hoping it would make everything feel okay? You sacrificed your time, your energy, maybe even your dreams, just to keep the peace, to avoid conflict, to keep someone happy. In the back of your mind, you tell yourself it's worth it, that one day you'll get your time back. You'll return to yourself. But here's the hard truth. When we keep giving pieces of ourselves away, we slowly lose sight of who we really are. We start to feel drained, stretched thin, like we're no longer living for ourselves, but for the expectations and demands of others. And that feeling doesn't just disappear. It seeps into everything, into your happiness, into your health, into your sense of purpose. Today I want to talk about something the ancient Stoics understood deeply, the art of knowing what must be protected and what can be released. The Stoics were masters at protecting their peace, at keeping their inner world steady and calm, even when life around them was chaotic and unpredictable. They knew that if you wanted to live a truly fulfilling life, there are certain things you never sacrifice, no matter who asks you, no matter how strong the pressure might be. So in this video, we're going to dive into 5 things you must never give up for anyone: your self-respect, your health, your dreams, your values, and your happiness. Each one is a pillar of who you are. Lose them, even slowly, and you lose your anchor, your direction, your sense of self. And once they're gone, it's a long, difficult road to rebuild them again. By the end of this video, you'll see clearly which parts of yourself you must guard fiercely so you stop trading away your peace and your purpose. So if you've been feeling lost, like you're giving up too much of yourself just to keep others comfortable, stay with me. Today isn't just about self-preservation. It's about reclaiming your inner strength, your clarity, and your sense of direction. We'll draw from Stoic philosophy to help you hold on to what truly matters, so you can live a life that feels aligned, steady, and deeply your own. Because life is too precious, and you are too valuable to let anyone or anything strip away the things that make you who you are. Before we dive in, if you're finding value in this journey, make sure to subscribe to Stoic Ocean and hit that notification bell. Your support helps us create more content that empowers you to live with wisdom, courage, and inner strength. And don't forget to drop a comment below sharing which of these 5 things you've struggled the most to protect in your own life. Let's dive in. Self-respect. Self-respect is more than just a nice idea. It's the foundation of how you experience yourself and how you allow the world to experience you. When you respect yourself, you're setting the standard for how others should treat you. You're saying, this is who I am, this is what I value, and this is what I will not tolerate. But when you begin to trade away that self-respect, maybe to avoid conflict, maybe to keep someone's approval, you start quietly chipping away at your own sense of worth. And let's be honest, when self-respect erodes, everything else begins to fall apart. The Stoics knew this deeply. Epictetus taught that one of our greatest duties is to honor our own dignity, to treat ourselves as something worthy of respect. He reminded his students that what truly defines us is our inner sense of character, not the judgments of others, not society's shifting standards. Self-respect isn't about ego. Ego wants to look important, to impress, to be admired in the eyes of the world. Self-respect is different. It's about the relationship you have with yourself. It's about staying aligned with your values and your principles, even when it's uncomfortable, even when others don't agree with you. The tricky part is this: It's incredibly easy to lose self-respect without even noticing. Maybe you're in a relationship where you feel unseen, unheard, or constantly undervalued. But you stay, telling yourself it will get better someday. Or maybe you're at a job where you're overlooked, underappreciated, and taken for granted, but you keep showing up because you need the paycheck. And besides, it's not that bad, right? We tell ourselves it's temporary, that we can handle it, that complaining is unnecessary. But over time, each small compromise, each moment where you say, "I'll let it slide," each time you silence yourself, slowly wears down the respect you hold for your own life. You start doubting your worth. You start questioning whether your needs matter. That's a dangerous place to live. Marcus Aurelius believed that when we compromise our self-respect, we lose something essential: the harmony between our actions and our values. To live out of step with your own principles, he argued, is to live with constant inner conflict. Imagine that. An emperor with nearly unlimited power, choosing discipline over indulgence, choosing honor over comfort. Why? Because he understood that without self-respect, even the grandest life feels hollow and unstable. One of the most powerful ways to protect your self-respect is by setting boundaries. And let's be honest, setting boundaries can feel terrifying. We're taught to be accommodating, to be agreeable, to make others comfortable, even when it means we are deeply uncomfortable. But the Stoics would remind us that true peace doesn't come from pleasing everyone. It comes from living in harmony with our own nature, with what we know is right. Sometimes that means having the courage to say no when something doesn't align with your values, or when it crosses the line of what feels respectful. Boundaries aren't walls, they're guidelines. They teach others how to treat you. And just as importantly, they remind you how you deserve to be treated. In Stoic practice, there's a constant focus on what's within our control and what isn't. We can't control how others react to our boundaries, to our decisions, to our limits. Some people will judge you, call you difficult, selfish, or overly sensitive. But their reaction is their responsibility, not yours. What you can control is your commitment to respecting yourself. The people who truly value you will also value your boundaries because they understand that respect flows both ways. The Stoics were clear. Real relationships, real friendships are built on mutual respect and understanding, not on how much we can extract from each other. Now let's talk about the fear underneath all this. The fear of losing people. It's natural to think, if I set boundaries, what if they leave? What if they pull away? But here's the uncomfortable truth. Anyone who walks away because you're finally respecting yourself was never truly with you in the first place. Epictetus would remind us that we're not here to twist ourselves into whatever shape keeps everyone else comfortable. We're here to live with integrity, to honor our inner dignity, even if that means some people don't stay. Self-respect means accepting that not everyone will understand your boundaries and not everyone will like them. And that's okay. When you prioritize self-respect, you raise the standard for your entire life. People notice that you don't tolerate disrespect, that you won't allow manipulation or belittling, that you take your life seriously. Over time, you'll start attracting people who recognize your worth, who appreciate your honesty, and who meet you at the level of mutual respect. And let's be honest, we've all watched someone settle for less than they deserve, letting themselves be treated like they're less valuable than they truly are. From the outside, we wonder why they stay. But if we're honest, many of us have done the same thing, just in different ways. So if you're in a season where you feel like you're constantly sacrificing your self-respect to keep the peace, to avoid upsetting others, I want you to pause. Ask yourself honestly, what am I really gaining? Is it worth the quiet cost of losing myself, of losing my dignity? The Stoics would say that nothing outside of us is worth trading the inner peace that comes from respecting ourselves. At the end of the day, self-respect isn't just about how others treat you. It's about how you treat yourself. Do you speak to yourself with kindness or with constant criticism? Do you honor your needs and your limits, or do you always push them aside? A simple place to start is this. This week, choose one small situation where you usually stay silent and instead speak up calmly and clearly for yourself. Notice how it feels to choose self-respect over automatic people-pleasing. When you start respecting yourself, it's like building a fortress around your inner peace. No one can take that from you unless you hand them the key. Self-respect becomes the armor that keeps you steady, that grounds you when life gets difficult. And the more you respect yourself, the less desperate you become for external approval or constant validation. You begin to live in alignment with who you truly are, just as the Stoics encouraged us to do. Self-respect isn't a moment. It's a way of life. Guard it fiercely, because once it is solid, everything else in your life has a chance to fall into its rightful place. And one of the first areas where we silently sacrifice ourselves is our health. Health. We all know that without health, nothing else really works. But still, we push it aside, telling ourselves we'll take care of it once everything else is under control. There's work. There are responsibilities, deadlines, people depending on us. And then somewhere at the bottom of the list, there's our health. The Stoics would say we've gotten it backwards. Health isn't something you save for later. It's the foundation that everything else is built on. If we don't care for our bodies and minds, how can we expect to show up fully for anything else? Marcus Aurelius understood this clearly. He reminded himself that the body is a vessel, a living instrument that carries us through this life. Caring for it is not vanity, it's duty. If the body fails, the mind struggles. And when both are weak, our responsibilities, our dreams, and our relationships all begin to suffer. Stoicism teaches us to live in harmony with our nature. And our nature includes both body and mind. Ignoring that is like asking a tree to bear fruit without ever watering it. It just doesn't work. The world we live in often glorifies the opposite. We celebrate hustle culture, people bragging about sleepless nights, skipped meals, and living on caffeine, as if running on fumes is some kind of badge of honor. But for what? Money, status, approval. Those things might feel good for a moment, but if they cost us our well-being, the Stoics would call that a poor trade. How many people do we see who finally reach their goals, only to be too exhausted, too unwell, to enjoy what they've built? In the Stoic view, that's not success. That's a quiet tragedy. They would say that real success is found in balance, not in burnout. If we neglect our health, we're pulling the ground out from under ourselves. When the body is weak, when the mind is clouded, every other area of life becomes heavier, harder, less stable. The Stoics had a word for acting against our better judgment, ekrasia. We know what is good for us, but we choose otherwise. They urged us to resist that pull, to choose what is wise, not just what is convenient. For them, caring for the body and mind was part of a disciplined, virtuous life. Health doesn't require perfection. You don't need to become an athlete or live on green smoothies. It's about balance, about making choices that support you, not slowly drain you. For the Stoics, health was always holistic, physical, mental, emotional. They never separated the mind from the body the way we often do today. They knew that stress, anxiety, and emotional turmoil weigh on the body just as much as poor sleep or poor diet. Marcus Aurelius believed that calming the mind, reducing unnecessary worry, was a path towards stronger health. An agitated mind, he observed, creates unnecessary suffering, and that suffering can weaken the body itself. So mental peace is not a luxury, it's a part of health. Rest, stillness, reflection, these are not signs of laziness. They're maintenance, they're repair. Caring for your health isn't about grand gestures, it's about consistency. Listening to your body, knowing when to rest, when to move, when to unplug. Sometimes it means choosing to sleep instead of answering one more late-night email. Sometimes it means stepping outside for fresh air when your mind feels heavy. Sometimes it means saying no to someone else's expectations so you can say yes to your own well-being. Epictetus taught that freedom and happiness come from living according to our nature. Part of that nature is the need to care for the body and mind that carry us. Our culture often tells us that putting ourselves first is selfish. But Stoicism would answer, how can you serve others well if you are constantly running on empty? If you truly want to show up for others, to make a difference, you need a strong foundation. Self-sacrifice at the cost of health isn't noble. It's short-sighted. You can't pour from an empty cup. Ask yourself honestly, are you treating your body as the sacred vessel it is? Or are you pushing it to its limits, hoping it will just keep up with everything you throw at it? Because at some point, the body speaks back. If we don't listen, it will stop us in ways we can't choose, at times we don't expect. And it's not just about the physical body. Our mental health is part of our health too. The Stoics saw inner calm and clarity as essential, not optional. They practiced what we might call mental hygiene. Each day they took time to reflect, to examine their thoughts, to release what was pointless, and to return their focus to what was within their control. Stress, anger, and anxiety were not badges of honor. They were seen as disturbances of the mind, obstacles that cloud judgment and disturb inner peace. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to let go of things outside his control, recognizing that clinging to what he couldn't change was both harmful and completely futile. So it's worth asking ourselves, how often do we let stress run our entire day? How often do we allow small, uncontrollable events to occupy massive space in our minds? The Stoics would urge us to care for the mind as carefully as we care for the body. A simple practice is to pause each day, even for a few minutes, and ask yourself, what am I holding on to today that I cannot control? Then gently give yourself permission to put it down. Finally, let's acknowledge this. Protecting your health takes real courage. It takes courage to say, I need a break. It takes strength to admit honestly, I'm burning out. Society may push us to keep grinding, to power through exhaustion, to treat rest as a sign of weakness, but that isn't wisdom. The Stoics believe we have a responsibility to live in balance, to treat our lives as something entrusted to us, not something to be recklessly burned out. Living well to them meant living sustainably, not running as if life were one endless race. So take care of your health, not just for some distant future, but because your health is what allows you to be fully present, fully yourself right now. At the end of the day, you are the keeper of your own well-being. Your body, your mind, your emotional state are what allow you to truly experience life, to feel joy, and to pursue what matters most. Don't sacrifice that for anyone or anything. As the Stoics would say, health is a foundation, not a reward you earn later. It's the ground you stand on. When you choose to prioritize it, you're choosing a life of greater balance, deeper peace, and lasting strength. And that is something worth protecting every single day. Dreams. Dreams are not just fleeting wishes or pretty daydreams. They're the deeper desires that move us, the visions that give life its color and meaning. Yet how often do we let them fade? How many times do we push them aside, telling ourselves we'll get to them later, or that they're too unrealistic for someone like us? The Stoics taught that we should stay grounded in reality, yes, but they also believed in fulfilling our nature, in walking the path only we can walk. That's what dreams are, a path unique to you, a calling no one else can answer on your behalf. They believed each person has a role in life, a purpose tied to their character and abilities. They called it our duty, our nature. Marcus Aurelius wrote often about living in accordance with that nature, pursuing the things that align with our deeper purpose. So when we dismiss our dreams, we're not just letting go of a pleasant fantasy. We're denying a part of who we are, a part that was meant to be expressed. Dreams are more than ambition. They're our potential reaching out to us, inviting us to become who we were meant to be. But dreams are vulnerable. They're easy to sacrifice in the face of fear, doubt, or the skepticism of others. Maybe someone told you your dream was too big, too risky, too unrealistic. Maybe you've been taught that pursuing what you love is selfish and that you should always play it safe. But the Stoics would see it differently. They would argue that failing to honor your potential is a deeper tragedy than any failure you might meet on the way. Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." He understood that the first step is to own the vision, to accept it as part of who you are, and then act toward it with steady resolve. Dreams feel frightening because they ask us to leave comfort behind, to risk being seen, to risk failing, to confront our limits. But the Stoics were clear. Fear is often just a story in the mind, a voice that tries to keep us small, tied to the familiar. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that obstacles are part of life, that adversity is not a wall, but a doorway. The Stoics taught that the obstacle can become the way. Every challenge on the path of your dream can shape you, strengthen you, and refine your character. Setbacks, rejection, delays. They don't mean you are unworthy. They mean you are learning. They are invitations to grow more resilient. The problem is, people around us often project their own fears onto our dreams. Friends, family, colleagues. They may care about us, but they don't see what we see. They urge us to be realistic, to play it safe, to lower our expectations, to settle. But Stoicism teaches that your life is your responsibility. No one else can walk your path. No one else can fulfill your purpose. No one else can live your dream. Epictetus advised his students to focus on what is within their control. Here that means your commitment to your dream, your effort, your persistence. Not other people's approval. The vision is yours. If you abandon it, No one can carry it forward for you. A life without dreams is like moving through the days on autopilot, never fully awake. Think back. When was the last time you felt truly alive, excited, energized by a possibility? Dreams do that. They give us purpose. They are the fire that fuels our actions, the quiet force that helps us endure difficulty, work through obstacles, and keep going. And yes, the path may be long. It may look different than you expected. It may twist and turn, opening doors you never imagined. But as the Stoics would say, the journey itself is part of the reward. Every step, every lesson, every test along the way shapes you into the person you need to become. They also reminded us that no great thing is created suddenly. Just as a tree does not grow overnight, neither do our dreams. They grow through small, consistent steps. Some days you'll move far. Other days, progress will be quiet, almost invisible. The Stoic response is not to despair, but to keep walking. Small steps taken steadily over time lead to profound change. And what about the belief that dreams are selfish? Many people think going after what we feel called to do is indulgent, self-centered, out of touch. The Stoics would turn that idea on its head. For them, fulfilling your potential was not selfish. It was a form of service. When you live aligned with your purpose, you don't just uplift yourself. You encourage others. You set an example. You contribute your unique gifts to the world. Marcus Aurelius believed we all have a duty to contribute to the common good. One of the best ways to do that is by becoming the fullest, truest version of ourselves. Your dreams are not only for you, they are the way your gifts reach others. Of course, none of this is easy. There will be setbacks, doubts, moments when giving up seems tempting. In those moments, Stoicism offers a lifeline. It reminds us that setbacks are not final verdicts. They're part of the process. Each time you stumble, each time you hear no, you are given a chance to strengthen your resolve. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." So instead of letting obstacles shrink your dream, let them deepen your character. Remember, dreams are not about arriving at a perfect, trouble-free destination. They're about the person you become as you pursue them, the courage you build, the resilience you develop, the wisdom you gain. That's the real reward. So don't sacrifice your dreams for anyone. Don't let fear or doubt or other people's limits decide how far you go. This week, take one small step toward a dream you've been postponing. Write the message, practice the skill, start the plan. You are the only one who can bring your vision to life, and the world is waiting to see what that looks like. We've now explored 3 of the 5 things you should never sacrifice. I hope these Stoic principles are resonating with you. If they are, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these 3, self-respect, health, or dreams, has been the hardest for you to protect? Your stories and reflections help us build a community of people committed to living with wisdom, courage, and inner strength. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to Stoic Ocean so you don't miss more content designed to help you live with clarity and purpose. Now let's move on to the remaining 2 pillars that shape who you are. Values. Values are the core of who we are, the principles that guide us through the choices and challenges of life. And yet they're often the first things we're willing to bend when pressure shows up. Maybe it's to fit in, to get ahead, or simply to avoid conflict. But here's the truth. When we sacrifice our values, we're not just compromising on small details. We're handing away pieces of ourselves, Our values are what anchor us, what give our lives direction and meaning. The Stoics understood this more clearly than most. For them, living in alignment with one's values was not optional. It was the very purpose of life. They believed that if you let go of your values, you let go of the essence of who you are. Think of your values as your internal compass. They help you navigate complex situations, pointing you toward what is right, even when everything around you feels uncertain. Marcus Aurelius is a powerful example. As one of the most powerful people on earth, he could have allowed power and luxury to twist his character. Instead, he chose humility, discipline, and integrity. In his private writings, he constantly reminded himself to stay true to his principles, to live with virtue and kindness, regardless of what others were doing around him. That's the lesson. Our values shouldn't shift with circumstances. They should be our constant reference point. But daily life doesn't always make that easy. We face situations that quietly test what we stand for. Maybe you work in a place where cutting corners is considered normal. Or you're surrounded by people who gossip, judge, and tear others down as if it's harmless. Maybe you're in a relationship where you're pressured to compromise your boundaries just to keep the peace. In those moments, it can feel easier to simply go along, to blend in, to avoid rocking the boat. But the Stoics would warn us, the easy path is often the path away from virtue. Living according to your values is rarely the simplest option. It requires courage, resilience, and a willingness to stand alone when necessary. One of the central Stoic virtues is integrity. Integrity means being whole, that what you believe inside matches how you act outside. Epictetus, who was once enslaved, knew this firsthand. He refused to let his external conditions strip away his principles. He taught that real freedom comes from staying true to your values, no matter what surrounds you. He once said that if you want to improve, you must be willing to be thought foolish. In other words, holding to your values even when others don't understand is a sign of strength, not weakness. Your values are like the foundation of a house. If that foundation is strong and solid, the structure can endure many storms. But if it's weak, the entire house is at risk. When we compromise our values, even in small, quiet ways, we're chipping away at that foundation. We tell ourselves just this once, it doesn't really matter. But each exception, each silent excuse, makes it easier to bend again. Soon we can wake up living a life that no longer reflects who we truly are. Stoicism offers a clear response to this. They teach us to focus on what we can control. And one thing firmly within our control is our commitment to our values. We can't control what others think, whether they approve, whether they join us. But we can control how we show up, how we choose to act, and the standards we set for ourselves. This is a powerful reminder in a world full of loud expectations and constant pressure. It's easy to start believing that our values are flexible, negotiable, something we can bend to keep others comfortable, but they're not. Your values are the parts of you that should never be for sale. They're the principles that guide your choices, even when it's unpopular, even when compromise would be easier. Sticking to your values is a test of courage. It means saying no when everyone expects a yes. It means walking away from situations, roles, or relationships that don't respect who you are at your core. And yes, that's difficult. It can mean disappointing people, facing criticism, or watching certain connections fall away. But here's the truth. If a person, a job, or an opportunity requires you to abandon your values, it's not truly aligned with your life. The Stoics would say no relationship, no status, no amount of success is worth the cost of your integrity. They would encourage us to walk away from anything that asks us to betray ourselves and to seek out spaces where our values are honored, not threatened. Seneca believed that living in harmony with our values is essential to peace of mind. He saw values as a source of strength, protecting us from regret, from guilt, from that heavy feeling of having sold ourselves short. Imagine looking back on your decisions and not needing to make excuses, not feeling that you betrayed yourself just to please someone else. When you stay true to your values, you live with a quiet confidence, a calm certainty that no one can take from you. You become more unshakable because you know you're living in alignment with who you truly are. Some people will say that in today's world, holding firm to your values is unrealistic, too idealistic, too impractical. The Stoics would disagree. Values aren't meant to be convenient. They're meant to keep us grounded, to help us live with dignity and purpose. Yes, there will be times when sticking to your values costs you something. An opportunity, a friendship, someone's approval. But if you trade your values for short-term gain, you're left with something hollow, something that never quite satisfies. True success, in the Stoic view, isn't found in popularity or wealth, but in living a life that stays true to your principles. There will be moments when standing by your values feels lonely. It's not easy to go against the grain when everyone else seems to be taking the easier road. But the Stoic perspective is clear. Your purpose is not to blend in, to please everyone, or to move with the crowd. Your purpose is to live with honor, to uphold courage, wisdom, and integrity, even when it costs you. When you choose your values over convenience and comfort, you might stand out, but you also stand tall. And standing tall, rooted in your principles, is far more fulfilling than the shallow comfort of fitting in. So remember this: your values are not up for debate. They're not meant to be adjusted just to make others more comfortable. They are yours to define, to honor, to protect, and to live by. A simple practice is this: the next time you face a difficult choice, ask yourself, will I still respect myself for this decision 1 year from now? Let that question guide your steps. When you live in alignment with your values, you don't just build a life, you build a legacy. You become an example of what it looks like to live with integrity, and that quietly gives others permission to do the same. At the end of the day, when you lay your head down at night, it's not applause or approval that gives you peace. It's the knowing that you were true to yourself. Happiness. This is something we all long for, something every one of us wants to feel deeply. But in today's world, happiness often feels like a distant milestone, something we'll reach one day. After the promotion, after the success, after we finally become enough. How many times have you delayed your happiness, telling yourself, I'll be happy when I earn more, when I'm more respected, when my life finally looks a certain way? The Stoics would pause us right there. They'd say that happiness isn't a prize at the end of the race. It's a byproduct of how we live today. They use the word eudaimonia, not just pleasure, but flourishing, living well, being in harmony with your true self and with virtue. For them, happiness wasn't about chasing external rewards, but about cultivating inner peace, mastering your mind, and living with integrity. This kind of happiness isn't loud or flashy. It's not the spike of excitement that fades overnight. It's a deeper, steadier sense of contentment, a quiet knowing that your life is aligned with what truly matters. But society often teaches the opposite. We are encouraged to push happiness aside, to grind, hustle, and exhaust ourselves in the name of success. We're told that feeling constantly tired and overwhelmed is normal, and we hope that someday it will all be worth it. The Stoics would ask us, what is the point of reaching the top if you're too stressed or numb to enjoy the view? Marcus Aurelius, carrying the weight of an empire, understood the importance of finding peace in the present moment. He warned against chasing happiness in some distant future, reminding himself to look inward, to find contentment in simple, honest living. So what does it mean to protect your happiness? First, it means noticing where your energy goes. It's easy to pour yourself into work that drains you, relationships that feel one-sided, obligations that don't match your true priorities. When most of your energy goes into things that deplete you, happiness quietly slips through your fingers. Epictetus would say, we must be intentional about where we place our attention. He taught that we are responsible for our own peace of mind and that no one else can create it for us. It's up to us to cultivate it, to protect it from people and situations that constantly disturb it. The Stoics also spoke of ataraxia, a state of inner tranquility, freedom from constant agitation. It's not a life without difficulty, but a life where your mood isn't controlled by every shift in the outside world. Imagine living in such a way that your happiness doesn't rise and fall with the opinions of others or with every twist in your circumstances. The Stoics would say that true happiness comes from this inner calm, from focusing on what is within your control and releasing your grip on what is not. When we hand our happiness over to things we cannot control, we give away our power. Another key to protecting happiness is setting boundaries. Boundaries may sound simple, but they're essential to a peaceful life. They're a way of saying, this is what I need to feel whole, to feel steady, to stay well. And yet we often let those boundaries blur. We say yes when we mean no. We overextend ourselves just to avoid disappointing others. The Stoics would remind us, your happiness is not selfish. It's a responsibility. Protecting your happiness doesn't mean cutting everyone out. It means being honest about what drains you and what nourishes you, and being brave enough to act on that truth. Gratitude is another pillar of Stoic happiness. Seneca spoke often about the idea of enough. He believed that happiness is less about accumulation and more about appreciation. We easily fall into the mindset of, I'll be happy when I have more. More money, more recognition, more everything. But Seneca would tell us to pause and look around. Do you have people who care about you? Do you have moments of quiet or safety? Do you have any measure of health, any small joy in your day? If so, there is already something to be grateful for, right here, right now. The Stoics practiced gratitude deliberately, using it as a tool to ground themselves in what was real, instead of endlessly chasing what was missing. A simple practice is this. Each day, name 3 small things you are grateful for, and let yourself actually feel that gratitude, even for a moment. Happiness also grows from self-compassion. The Stoics believed in being firm yet fair with ourselves. We are human. We will make mistakes, fall short, have days where we feel far from our best. Beating yourself up does not create virtue. It only deepens suffering. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to accept his own humanity, to return again and again to the path of virtue without hatred toward himself. When you treat yourself with patience and kindness, you create space for happiness to breathe. You stop demanding perfection and begin appreciating the process of growth. And here's something the Stoics were very clear about. Happiness is not constant pleasure. Life will include pain, loss, and difficult seasons. Stoicism does not deny this. Instead, it teaches us to find meaning within hardship, to build resilience, to let challenges reveal our character. Epictetus said that hardship introduces a person to themselves. Through struggle, we see what we value, what we will stand for, who we are becoming. So protecting your happiness doesn't mean avoiding every discomfort. It means learning to grow through it, so your joy rests on something deeper than easy days. Happiness is not a place you arrive. It's something you cultivate moment by moment. It's the result of daily choices, where you place your energy, who you allow near your heart, what thoughts you dwell on, what you choose to release. It's about honoring who you are at your core, rather than bending yourself to meet everyone else's expectations. The Stoics would say that when we live this way, grounded in gratitude, rooted in our values, clear about what we can control, we create a happiness that is quiet, steady, and hard to shake. Not a constant high, but a deep sense of fulfillment, a peace that comes from living in alignment with what truly matters. So don't sacrifice your happiness. Don't let anyone convince you that protecting your peace, seeking joy, and living a life that feels true to you is selfish. Happiness isn't a luxury or a prize you earn only after suffering enough. It's part of a life well lived, and it's within reach here and now. The Stoics would remind us that much of what we need for happiness already exists within us. Our task is to nurture it, guard it, and let go of what stands in its way. So guard your happiness with wisdom and care, because when you do, you're choosing to live a life that honors the deepest parts of who you are. As we wrap up, remember this: your self-respect, your health, your dreams, your values, and your happiness. These are the pillars that make you who you are. Life will test them. People may pressure you to bend them, to set them aside. But these are the things worth protecting above all else. In a world pulling you in 1,000 directions, staying true to what matters most isn't just strength. It's freedom. The freedom to live on your own terms, to honor who you are, and to build a life that reflects your deepest values. The Stoics understood that these 5 pillars are not negotiable. They are the foundation of a life well lived, a life of integrity, purpose, and inner peace. So guard them fiercely, protect them with boundaries, nurture them with care, and never let anyone convince you that sacrificing them is worth it, because it's not. You are too valuable, and your life is too precious to give away the very things that make you who you are. Thank you for being here with Stoic Ocean. If today's journey resonated with you, I'd love to hear which of these 5 pillars has been the hardest for you to protect, and how you're working to strengthen it. Share your story below. Your reflections might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if you found value in this video, consider subscribing to Stoic Ocean and exploring more of our videos on Stoic wisdom, inner strength, and emotional mastery. Keep walking this path with us. Together, we'll keep learning how to live with clarity, courage, and peace. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to Stoic Ocean and hit the notification bell so you don't miss new videos that help you live each day with wisdom, courage, and strength. Check out the videos on your screen for more Stoic guidance and practical tools to deepen your inner resilience. Until next time, remember this: take care of what's within your control. Your inner strength and purpose matter more than anything outside you.